Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Rashid, and the organizers for this opportunity. Actually, I thought of taking you out of all the technical discussions that you have been presenting into a different world, which is the risk world that we're living in, and try to relate this to whatever solutions you're presenting, and relate this as well to the business. And some of the presenters earlier presented the future trends, also relate the risks that we're facing to the future trends that you have seen earlier. For this, I'm going to share some of the key highlights of the World Economic Forum report that's produced by, in collaboration with Marsh, and it has been presented in the recent Davos meeting. So I'm going to share with you some of the key findings in that report. This reflects the risk perception of 800 experts worldwide, along with 13,000 CEOs from different countries on the risk perception globally as well as into their countries. What we're going to see, we're going to start with a global view first on the overall risks, then go down to the business risks globally, drill it down to the MENA region, and then go to the UAE and see the differences in the various, at the various levels. So the first question was asked to the respondents of the survey was about the increases that in certain risks, whether they will increase in the future, the near future, or they will decline. The risks are classified into different categories, and they are colored differently. So we've got the first category is the economic risks, then the environmental risks in green, the geopolitical risks in orange, societal risks in red, and the technological risks in purple. So these are the basic categories of risks. And we will see that the first risk that is expected to increase in the near future is the economic confrontations, followed by political polarization, followed by the extreme heat waves, and then the destruction of the ecosystems. Number 5 would be the cyber risk attacks. So these are basically the top 5 risks that are seen to be increasing in the coming future. If we want to have a look back in history, how the risk perception changed throughout the past 10 years. If we go back from 2010 and move forward to 2020. Actually, in 2010, even going back to 2008, the main risks were the economic risks. Everyone was focused on economic risks. And so that's why we see the color in blue more dominant for the top 5 risks. And then it started moving into 2012. We'll see a red color coming in, which is basically the water crisis, which means that people are started to become more aware of the shortage of water supply, and they need to do something about that. And this became really a hot topic in 2015, where it ranked among one of the top 5 risks globally, the water shortage crisis. Moving forward, we'll see more green color, which means that the environmental risks have started moving to be on top of the risks, but we still have in 2020 the red color for the water crisis that's still showing on the top risks. So we've got the environmental risks and the water shortage risks that are still of main concern today. If we want to look at risks from a different angle, on the likelihood on the left side and on the impact to your right side. On the likelihood, if we look at the top 5 risks, and this is the first time in the report's history, the report has been produced for the past 15 years. And for the first time in the report's history, we find out that the environmental risks are becoming key, and they rank on the top 5 risks that we face. What does that mean for you as energy producers? It means that clean energy is key, reducing the carbon footprint is key, renewable energy is key to mitigate all these risks that we are facing for the future. So whatever solutions you should be presenting from now and for the future should be focusing towards mitigating these risks. Going down to the number 6 and number 7, we will find that data fraud and cyber attacks are among the top 10 risks that are facing, and the colleagues, the presenters before me were talking about data and cyber, and we're going to see that in more detail later on. Still, water crisis is among the top 10. Then we have the failure of regional governance and the asset bubbles, the overinflation that we have. That's in terms of likelihood. In terms of impact, the number 1 is still related to the climate, then the weapons of mass destruction, and we have the number 3 and 4 still environmental, with the water crisis still there among the top 5 in terms of impact.